securing your users with G Suite. I'll now turn it over to Mike to get us started.
Thank you, David. Hi, everyone. I'm Mike. I'm a Google Cloud and G Suite consultant here at Wursta, and I also have our technical delivery manager, Joe Wilson, on the webinar with me today. And over the next 20 minutes, half hour, we're going to be discussing how you can leverage G Suite to better secure your users and ultimately enhance your overall data security posture. G Suite goes a long way in helping to really solidify your cloud security posture. And again, G Suite isn't just the popular communication and productivity apps you know and love like Gmail, Docs, Sheets, Drive, and Chat. It also includes everything you need to have productive, high-fidelity video meetings, enterprise-grade telephony, not to mention the power of Google search at your fingertips to find data and everything you need to also manage your users, and for today, to help keep them safe and secure. With secure, intuitive apps that were built for the cloud from the beginning, G Suite is the present and the future, and it's helping people reimagine how they work, while ensuring that your data and your end users are safe and secure. The security of your end users is really paramount to successful collaboration design within G Suite. Whether your organization has a strategic business opportunity like adapting to environments, innovating in the market, reducing costs, increasing collaboration, or if you're solving for a specific business use case, like increasing productivity and collaboration while also reducing licenses or increasing security or solving for shadow IT, our collaboration design team can partner with you to provide advisory services, help you achieve some quick wins, implement G Suite, transform your business processes to optimize these new tools, and help you innovate. And we do this all while ensuring your users and ultimately your data is safe and secure. So yesterday, Charles and I discussed how to best secure your data in G Suite. Today, Joe and I will be taking a look at how to best secure your users within G Suite. And we're going to kick it off with some sage wisdom here from Robert Mueller, who back in 2012 stated that there are only two types of companies: those who have been hacked and those that will be. I know it's a bit ominous, but it's also pretty spot on. It's a reality that we all live with every day, no matter your size, industry, geography, or mission. Your company's at risk from external threats looking to take advantage of your end users and any lax security policies that they can exploit. This is their full-time job, and they take it as seriously as you do your full-time job. So we'll be taking a look at some of the most common ways that you can enhance your organization's security posture to better protect your users and, again, ultimately your data as well. We'll be touching on password strength, two-step verification, disallowing less secure apps, OAuth access for third-party apps, Gmail safety settings, mobile device management, and then we'll wrap it all up with single sign-on. So first and foremost, we're talking about password strength. Security experts have been preaching the use of complex and secure passwords for years, and yet still I know of senior level executives who use the same password for all of their accounts, and some who may or may not still be using password 123 as their go-to password. And folks, that simply won't do this day and age. So really, how do you better protect your users? First, you require longer passwords. Passwords with only 7 characters can be brute forced in 0.29 milliseconds. An 8-character password using only letters buys you up to 5 days. Whereas a password that's 14 characters long would take centuries to crack using brute force software programs. In addition to longer passwords, you need to require more complex passwords for maximum password strength. For example, that same 8-character letters-only password that can be cracked in 5 days will stand strong for 14 years against brute force attacks if you simply require the use of numbers and symbols in addition to letters. It's a very simple step that you can take to significantly increase your security posture. And then after that, you'll want to set your password expiration limits. So password expiration should be set regularly. You can do this at different intervals, whether it's 30, 60, 90, 180 days. And really by changing up your password on a regular basis, you're creating more of a moving target for cyber criminals. So you're making it far more difficult for them to exploit your users and gain access to your data. And then finally, a great tool to give you a quick overview of your company's overall password strength is the admin console audit. And let's take a quick look at what that can show us and what that can tell us. So with the admin console audit, again, it's a quick assessment of an individual's password length and strength. And then as an IT admin, you can make recommendations as needed to your end users. So in the case of our admin console audit here, I would definitely be reaching out to Elon Musk. He's got to increase his password strength and the length. And then furthermore, one thing we do want to touch on, we need to hold admins to a higher standard with regards to password length and strength. They hold all the keys to the castle. They're the ones that are sort of the gatekeepers for all of this intellectual property, this pertinent data for your organization. So we do recommend, and in our organization, we insist that admins have complex passwords with letters, numbers, and symbols, and the bare bones minimum length should be 14 characters. Now, we're going to take a look at two-step or multi-factor authentication and really how integral it is for securing your users and ultimately your company's valuable data and intellectual property. Two-step requires two forms of verification to access your account. You could use your phone, voice, app notifications. A lot of our clients rely on physical security keys for two-step verification. And personally, the security keys are my preferred method. I have a key fob for getting into my building, and now I also have a key fob for accessing my G Suite account and data. I don't know where I go without my keys, so it's just very convenient for me. And a lot of our clients have found that to be extremely convenient as well. Two-step verification protects your users and their data even if their password is leaked or otherwise exfiltrated from your environment. And I have spoken with a few IT decision makers who for some reason avoid two-step verification, and it often comes down to the fact that they think a few end users or possibly their C-level executives could find it inconvenient. The truth of the matter is it's also inconvenient to experience a data breach and lose your intellectual property. The 2 seconds it takes to tap your security key or copy a code from a secure text message, in my opinion, is well worth the added security for your users and your data and to avoid that breach. If you're considering enhancing your security, your end user security with two-step verification, we do recommend proper change management. Proper change management should be considered before randomly deploying this type of security control, providing guidance around how to enroll and any expected changes significantly reduces administrative overhead and also really helps you to set those clear expectations with your end users to make the process much more frictionless. And if you're not sure where to start, we're here to help. But the bottom line here is that two-step verification should be mandatory for everyone in your organization. The next thing I'm going to focus on is less secure applications and how and why to disallow less secure apps. A less secure app is any application that only requires a username and password for authentication. And really, this day and age, that's simply not enough to protect you from outside threats. To activate the security measure and disallow less secure apps, you simply go to security, it's under your basic settings, and then less secure apps, and simply click disable. Disable access to less secure apps for all users. The nice thing is once less secure apps are disabled, you have an added level of security from G Suite. And if a less secure app attempts to access an end user account, it's going to trigger an email to the end user advising them that someone has attempted to access their account. Also, admins can monitor if a user has allowed less secure apps in the account activity report section. And the report includes a filter that identifies these users and they can then have a a private conversation or remediate appropriately. So these are some of the more quick and effective ways to, in my opinion, significantly enhance your security posture. And now what I'm going to do here is really turn things over to Joe Wilson, our technical delivery manager, where he'll dive into some of the more technical aspects of securing your users. Take it away, Joe.
Thanks, Mike. So we're going to talk about open authentication, which is a protocol that allows you to approve an application interacting with another on your behalf without giving away your password. OAuth doesn't share the password data, but instead uses authorization tokens to prove identity between the consumer and the service provider. So there's been a lot of incidents when non-Google apps have impersonated the Google look and feel and gained access to the user's data. As an admin, you don't want sensitive information leaking out from your user's drive in Gmail. An example would be you receive an email from Mike that says he's invited you to edit a document, and when you click on the link, it opens the Docs button, and you land on a page asking to be granted permission to view those documents. But by selecting that and allowing that, you've now whitelisted a potentially malicious software to have access to your account. So we want to be careful that we know where the emails are coming from and that we don't allow, or that we're only using this open authentication. OAuth was intended to prevent this type of attack. Now, G Suite provides some enhanced pre-delivery message scanning. We call this early phishing detection. When Gmail identifies an email that may be a phishing scam, it might show you a warning or move that email to spam for you. The feature improves how to identify suspicious content, and it uses machine learning to identify those emails that could carry a potential threat. You might get a warning, or Gmail may move the email to spam right away. The moment that Gmail detects suspicious content in an incoming email, it introduces a delivery layer and performs rigorous phishing analysis. And this was all designed to protect the end users. And Gmail does this through a setting that can be turned on for your domain. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about the unintended external reply. And this is really around when users respond to an email message and the recipient may be external to your organization, or you get an email that looks like it might be from your CEO, and you go to reply to his response, and you get an alert that says you're responding to an email outside of your organization. And so Gmail will, through this alert, ask you if you realize this and want to reply or not. And that's merely so that you know you're replying to someone you don't communicate with regularly or someone that's not in your contacts. You can either refuse to answer that or dismiss that and go ahead and send the email as intended. The feature gives your company solid protection against forged email messages and possible impersonation. Now here's a great feature, mobile device management. Google has some built-in mobile device management, and you get a little bit with each level of G Suite with basic, business, and enterprise, but you get your biggest bang really with business and enterprise. It's a remarkable and useful feature which Google provides to business and enterprise customers. Has some personal management, but definitely not the level. The basic has personal management, but definitely not the level of control that you get with the business or enterprise. Now there's two levels. There's the basic level, which gives you some ability to lock screens, remote wipe of corporate data. And the idea is to seamlessly enforce device policies and security settings over mobile devices in your organization. Now the advanced MDM allows you even more control. You can create business profiles, approve devices, enforce passwords, and manage everything from a single dashboard. I can incorporate using certificates and even bulk enroll mobile devices. Everyone has a cell phone, and most of us use laptops, and tablets are becoming even more common. Managing these devices is critical for businesses. A lot of these devices contain companies' intellectual property, and this data can easily be stolen, lost, or compromised at any time. That loss or theft or stolen device can compromise a business. MDM gives you better control and makes mobility easier to manage. Now, single sign-on, or SSO as we call it, Mike talked earlier about password security, and we saw how difficult the password needed to be if we want to feel secure. These passwords are often long and hard to remember. And we know every website we go to now requires a unique password. Well, single sign-on in the enterprise refers to the ability for employees to log in just one time with a single set of credentials. They can then gain access to all the corporate apps and websites and data they need to access. SSO solves key problems for the business by providing greater security and compliance. I only have to use one password to log in, and I only have to remember one password. Life is faster and more secure.
Absolutely, Joe. Thank you for walking us through that. I think that gives a really good high-level overview of how companies and IT admins can take some simple and very effective steps to protect their users, and ultimately protecting your users protects your data. And the data, the IP and the confidential data is becoming more and more the lifeblood of an organization. Thank you for your technical insight there, Joe. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
I do just want to recap. I know we've been going over a lot this past week in our remote collaboration webinar series. We've touched on remote collab. We've touched on meetings with Google Meet, Google Drive in real time, securing your data. Today we're touching on securing your users. And don't forget to come back next week to hear a little bit about employee portals and chat. And then we wrap it all up with collaboration design with Wursta on Tuesday, June 23rd. Again, thank you. We look forward to partnering with you. If you do have any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to reach out to Joe or myself. We're here to help, and that's what we love to do. Are there any questions? I'll go to the questions area now. It looks like we do have one here. Let's see. Okay, that's a lot of great info. If we want to enhance our G Suite security, where do you recommend we start? Well, that's an excellent question. And first, thank you. I'm glad you got a lot out of it. And really, I've got I guess a bit of a two-part answer. So for anyone already using G Suite, and if you just want a quick sort of overview, something that I personally like to do is to provide a complimentary best practices security review. We take a look at just general security best practices for your G Suite environment. For those who want a more in-depth assessment, which would be very specific to your environment, we offer a comprehensive security and cloud risk assessment to identify vulnerabilities and ultimately implement a remediation plan that would fit your strategic goals and initiatives. And thank you for that question. I'll hold to see if any more come in. Okay, I'm not seeing any more activity on the questions list. So just want to thank you guys again for attending the webinar. We hope that you got some very valuable information out of it. Don't forget to tune in on Monday and Tuesday for the next segments in the series, and have a great weekend, everybody.